In the quiet town of Delphi, Indiana, something happened in 2017 that still haunts people to this day. It started as a normal day. On February 13th, two best friends, 14-year-old Libby German and 13-year-old Abigail Abby Williams, asked to go for a hike. It was a school day, but the girls had the day off. They planned to explore the Manan High Bridge, an old railway bridge surrounded by trees and trails, the kind of place you'd expect kids to hang out in a small town. At around 2 p.m., Libby posted a photo of Abby walking across the bridge. It was the last time anyone saw them alive. When the girls didn't return home later that afternoon, their families knew something was wrong. This wasn't like them. By 5:30 p.m., they were reported missing. Volunteers, police, and locals began searching the area, but that night, they found nothing. The next day, February 14th, the search continued. Around noon, just off the trail and down a hill near a creek, searchers made a heartbreaking discovery. They found the bodies of both girls. To this day, the police haven't released exactly how they died, but the scene was disturbing enough that even seasoned investigators were shaken. Then came something no one expected. Libby, it turns out, had been recording on her phone. In those final moments, she had captured a short video clip. In it, you see a man walking toward them on the bridge. He's wearing jeans, a navy jacket, and a hat. You can hear his voice say just 6 chilling words.
See, this is the path that we go down. There's no path going there, so we have to go down here.
Guys, down the hill, that audio, just 6 words, would go on to become one of the most analyzed sound clips in internet history. The man in the video was dubbed Bridge Guy, and the FBI released the clip to the public, hoping someone would recognize the voice or the way he walked, and yet no arrest was made. For 5 long years, this case remained cold. Tips came in, thousands of them. Sketches were made, 2 different ones. In fact, one looked older, one younger. People began to wonder if the police even knew who they were looking for. Many started to believe the killer had gotten away with it. Some thought it might be someone in law enforcement. Others believed it was a drifter, or maybe even someone the girls knew. But the truth was much closer than anyone realized. Then, in October 2022, out of nowhere, police announced they had arrested someone. His name was Richard Allen, a 50-year-old man who lived in Delphi. He wasn't some stranger. He wasn't a drifter. He worked at a local pharmacy. People in town knew him. Some had even spoken to him about the case. Even more chilling, Richard Allen had admitted back in 2017 that he was at the trail that day. He told police he'd been walking, saw a couple of girls, and left. But for some reason, that information was filed and forgotten. What finally led to his arrest was a piece of ballistic evidence. A bullet found near the bodies matched a gun Allen owned. Then came something even harder to ignore. In jail, Allen reportedly confessed to his wife and a mental health worker. He said he killed Libby and Abby. In November 2024, after a full trial, a jury found Richard Allen guilty of murder. The judge sentenced him to 130 years in prison. But here's where things get even weirder. Allen's defense lawyers claim that he didn't act alone. They say he was forced to do it by a strange group tied to Odinism, a belief system based on Norse mythology. According to them, this was some kind of ritual killing. Prosecutors strongly denied this, saying there was no evidence of any group, but a theory caught traction online. Other people questioned the evidence altogether. Some say the bullet was planted. Others point out that there were 2 sketches released, and neither looked exactly like Allen. There are even rumors that the Snapchat clip was longer, that Libby may have captured even more footage, but it was never released to the public. To this day, many people believe that Richard Allen either didn't act alone, or that he might not be the real killer at all. Whatever the truth is, 2 young girls went for a walk on a bright afternoon and never came home. And that's something this town and the world will never forget. As for Libby, the fact that she had the presence of mind to start recording is both heartbreaking and heroic. Because of her, the world saw a glimpse of their killer, and without that video, we might not even have a suspect. This case reminds us that even in a quiet town, on an ordinary day, something unthinkable can happen. And sometimes, the person responsible isn't a monster hiding in the shadows, but someone hiding in plain sight. Thanksgiving Day in 1985 started like any other for the Blount family. They lived in a quiet mobile home park in Lake Worth, Texas. Joe Blount, his wife Susan, their son Robert, daughter Angela, and a young family friend named Michael Columbus were all gathered to celebrate the holiday. There was nothing unusual that day. The family had dinner, enjoyed each other's company, and later in the evening, Joe took Angela, Robert, and Michael out to get ice cream and some beer. They were gone for about 20 minutes. When they returned home, something strange caught their attention. Sitting on the doorstep was a tan briefcase. It hadn't been there earlier. The family assumed maybe someone had left it as a surprise or even a gift. Angela picked it up and brought it inside. When she opened it, everything changed. The briefcase exploded. A bomb had been hidden inside. The blast was immediate and devastating. Joe, Angela, and Michael were killed instantly. Robert suffered severe burns to his legs and feet. His slippers melted into his skin. Susan survived with injuries. Their home was torn apart. Neighbors rushed over. The trailer filled with smoke and screaming. Thanksgiving had turned into a horror scene. Investigators soon confirmed it was no accident. Someone had built a bomb and left it disguised in a briefcase right on their doorstep. But the question was, why? There was no clear motive. The Blount family had no known enemies. No reason someone would want to kill them. That led investigators to a chilling theory. Maybe the bomb wasn't meant for them at all. Maybe it was left at the wrong house. The case quickly grew cold. Years passed. Leads dried up. The town moved on, but the Blount family never recovered. They buried 3 loved ones and were left with no answers. Then in 1997, 12 years later, something shifted. After the Oklahoma City bombing, federal agencies began revisiting unsolved bomb cases. The Blount case has resurfaced. A jailhouse informant claimed that his cellmate, a man named Michael Roy Tony, had confessed to planting the bomb. Tony was arrested and charged. The case went to trial in 1999. Prosecutors leaned heavily on testimony from Tony's ex-wife and to jailhouse snitches. There was no physical evidence tying him to the scene. No fingerprints, no DNA, no eyewitnesses. Still, he was convicted. The jury sentenced him to death. But it didn't end there. Years later, it came to light that the prosecution had withheld crucial information. The informants had failed lie detector tests. Tony's ex-wife had changed her story multiple times. Evidence that would have helped the defense had never been turned over. In 2008, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals overturned the conviction. Tony was released from prison in 2009 after spending 10 years on death row. Just a month later, Tony died in a car crash. To this day, there's no definitive proof that he planted the bomb, and no one else has ever been charged. Some people still believe Tony was guilty. Others believe he was a scapegoat and easy target for a desperate cold case. The truth remains buried. What makes this case so terrifying isn't just the violence, it's how random it was. A family celebrating a holiday, doing nothing wrong, ends up the victim of a calculated, deliberate attack. Whether they were the intended target or not doesn't make it any less tragic. Nearly 40 years later, the question still haunts investigators. Who left the bomb, and why? The answers may never come, but for the Blount family and the town of Lake Worth, the scars remain. A Thanksgiving that should have been filled with warmth and family was replaced by fire, screams, and silence.